We haven't elected a woman president, and I don't care where you sit on it. Why?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be totally transparent. 2 women that have the power to be presidents of the United States were on that panel, and I respect them at the highest level. And this is what they said. If the red button had to be pushed, they have too much empathy to push it. That's the difference. When it comes right down to pushing the red button, that's why we can't have a woman as president. Not because she's not smart enough, not because she can't do all the other things. In fact, she's just as brilliant, 100%, nothing taken away from women. And that's exactly what it said. And I agree. But they said there is a point when you're in certainty with somebody else and another man is ready to fight you. When it comes toe to toe and you're going to take the swings, don't threaten me.
Yeah.
I will engage in the fight, and I'm not afraid.
Welcome to Unreasonable Autonomy. My name is Sarah Grace. This is the podcast for entrepreneurs and innovators who refuse to settle. Here we dive deep into raw, real conversations with boundary pushers who have pursued seemingly impossible ideas and yet have achieved unreasonable results, whether that's in their faith, relationships, health, politics, yes, even business. All of those conversations are happening right here, right now. So let's buckle up because this isn't about playing it safe. Unreasonable ideas, unstoppable results. Let's go. Honored to welcome Bart and Sunny Miller to the podcast. Bart and Sunny Miller, founders of I Do Epic and multi-million-dollar online business owners, are living proof that breaking free from the norm leads to extraordinary success. They've earned the ClickFunnels 10X Award for generating 10 million through a single funnel, along with multiple 2 Comma Club awards. As top 1% Amazon sellers and creators of a thriving international online academy in the makeup space, they've spent over 40 years mastering online business. Bart's expertise even extend to styling top entrepreneurs like Russell Brunson for major events. Passionate about freedom and living life on their own terms, Bart and Sunny help entrepreneurs escape societal constraints and build businesses that fuel their dream lifestyles. Their mission is to inspire others to cut the ropes, pull out the stakes, and create a life of purpose, passion, and financial independence. Whether through Bart's public-facing roles or Sunny's behind-the-scenes expertise, they embody the power of intentional living, helping others do the same, fearlessly and unapologetically. Get ready for the conversation of a lifetime. Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast, Unreasonable Autonomy. You guys, I just met the most kind, wonderful friends. Sunny and Bart Miller, welcome to the room. Hi.
Thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
We're so glad. You guys, I just got to spend 7 minutes with them before we got started recording this podcast, and I got coached. Let's do the podcast. Coach me. Let's go.
No.
Oh, and I express that this is such a kindness, right? Entrepreneurship is messy. Life is messy. Marriage is messy. Faith is messy. All the things are real messy, and we have got to help each other. So you've already heard their bio. You know why you should listen to both of them. The fact we get both of them, like jackpot, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So I want to orient people to your world, and then we are going straight into those entrepreneurs that are stuck on courses, tactics, and business sucks right now.
Let's
if
go.
That's you, you've got to listen, because the fact that you're a man or a woman matters in how you're doing that, all the things. So we are going to dive in to orient people into your world, Sunny and Bart. How did you guys get here? Like, what's your life? But 2 or 3 minutes, because we've got to dive deep.
So I'll make it really quick. We figured out energy matters. When you figure out that you are organic intelligence, not artificial intelligence, even though you're trying to solve all your problems right now with artificial intelligence, you're really organic intelligence. And when you understand that at a higher level, you understand that you are a vibrating being. You are energy. And when you understand that you are energy and that you can come to life at your fullest power in your energetic states, then everything becomes easier because you're transparent. The people who are loved the most are the people who are the most vulnerable because they're authentic. What's the highest vibrating energy in the world? I'm going to leave that till later, but what is it? They've done studies on this, and I'll give you a really quick cue. It's called authenticity. you want me to say that louder? Authenticity. The problem with most entrepreneurs is we're trying to sell instead of be authentic and really bless somebody's lives. And we think tactics are going to do that.
I'm going to fight you on this.
Go for it.
I'm going to fight you on this. And then say this, let's go. I heard you at Funnel Hacking Live literally days ago. And I'm like, I want to be in this dude's world. I want to meet Sunny. Like we met in the Delta Lounge a couple years ago. And I'm like, I'm going to be in this guy's world someday, right? I mean, fascinating.
Like a fight? That doesn't sound like a UFC setup. Let's go. Come on. I thought we were getting in the ring.
Join us.
You were talking at Funnel Hacking Live about alter egos. Yes. And when I heard about that, and you're like, when Russell steps on stage, he's got a watch. And when I do XYZ, I have a ring. And Sunny, I want to hear what yours is too, right? The reality is that to me sounds fake and like not like myself. So you're telling me authenticity. You're telling me alter ego. Who are you?
Oh, so good. Okay, so let's just step into a really quick thing here so we don't get it confused. All right. So everything that I taught from stage was how to become your authentic self. It still lives inside of you. I didn't say leave you. But here at Halloween, let's say if I dressed up as a woman and decided to step into my feminine energy and be sexy because I wanted to be somebody else for a night, is that not authentically me? Now it is if I'm trying to manipulate you.
Ooh. Okay, keep going.
There's a big difference, right? So your authentic self, and when we're talking about what problems a lot of us have is shyness. We have a lot of us that are introverts. We have a lot of us, but it's not who we really, it's like, it still lives inside of us to be somebody else. So it's like this. I'll make this really easy and then Sunny can go if she wants to. If you believe that you are a human, which I hope you do, then you believe you have masculine and feminine energy in you.
True.
Therefore, you have both energetic systems. I use my masculine energy more because I am a man. Doesn't mean I don't have feminine energy inside of me and that I shouldn't understand and tap into it. So not to get off your question, but I'm not being unauthentic. Authenticity is that I believe and I have truth in something. Go ahead.
I want to say something too. So authenticity also means, like, let's say I want to become somebody, but I'm holding myself back. I'm not being authentic.
Amen.
Authenticity is matching who you want to be with who you are, right? So if you can bridge the gap with alter ego, you've already got all these things inside of you, but just jumping to it, then you're being fully authentic because you're stepping into who and what you want to be. That is authenticity.
Really, the other way around is you're not being authentic.
Yeah.
Because you're not stepping into your true power. You're not serving your tribe.
Well, Sunny, let me dive deeper with you. Like, fake it till you make it? True or false?
No, not at all. You're not faking it.
No.
Because you're stepping into energy that exists.
So let's just break it down. So do we all know who Beyonce is?
On stage, yes.
Okay. What's her real name?
I have no idea.
What's her real name on stage?
Beyonce.
No.
What? Tell me the things. Go.
Sasha Fierce. So she steps into Sasha Fierce to be on stage. She just killed off Sasha Fierce. Barely. But why when she's Beyonce? Why did Marilyn Monroe, her real name's Norma Jean. It isn't Marilyn Monroe. So you're saying she's being unauthentic? No, she had issues in her life. So if you look at Beyonce's life, she was an amazing singer already. She was so phenomenal. But she had Christian beliefs that were holding her back of being a superstar. She created Sasha Fierce because Sasha Fierce could be sexy. She could shake her butt. She could show her cleavage. She could step into a power when she put on her stilettos. She could be her. But when she went home, guess who she could be? The Christian girl Beyonce, and be whole.
Wow.
See, I think our limiting beliefs and the things that like hold us back are the things that are inauthentic. So when well, for example, Beyonce actually was very shy. She was bullied as a kid for being shy, right? That's so if that would have stopped her from stepping on a stage, that's a limiting belief. That's not authentic with who she was and where she wanted to go.
How do you determine who you are?
You get to choose it.
That's right. And the other part of it is deep inside of you, there's always something that's saying to you, I should be doing. I crave this. You watch people and you're like, oh, I want to be, I go, that's so bad. But no, it's not me. It's not me. When reality is, it's your soul. It's your inner power saying, no, you are a lion. Quit being a sheep. You're being a sheep instead of being a lion. When are you going to be a lion? And the only way you can become a lion is by what? Saying, I'm no longer a sheep. I'm going to step into my power. But how I need to do that is this method really quickly. It doesn't mean I can't and I need to heal myself.
Sure.
Like Beyonce had a lot of healing she wanted to do, but she didn't limit herself. She created Sasha Fierce and stepped into it.
And you'll find the people that create their alter egos, the ones, they're all different. Nobody chooses the same alter ego because the ones they choose are authentic to the power that lives inside of them that they're trying to step into.
Just like Adele, she took two different people and created Sasha Carter.
So tell me this though, with people that go with the fake it till you make it type of strategy, wouldn't the no-brainer result from that be that they're stepping into something that isn't real?
Right, so you said a term, fake.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. That's the fight.
But we're not talking about being fake. No. That is not authenticity.
And how do you catch yourself being fake versus authentic?
You know when you're lying, you know when you're being fake. It will come across. It's in all your facial features and everything you do. People will see right through it. Fake never works long term. A fake cop can walk in and it will work for a few seconds. And that's why when I talk about style, I always use this. People say, I can show up any way I want. People will either accept me or they won't accept me. And I go, that's great. Then you're saying, if a cop walked in his Bermuda shorts right now and said, stand at attention, let's go, you're all going to get up and run out to the door. It's not going to happen. But if a fake cop walked in and said, hey, stand at attention, let's go, we wouldn't know the difference. We'd probably all go. But once we figured out he was fake, that would last really quick. And we would be like, all right, dude, like that was not cool. You see what I'm saying? It can work for a split second. It can work for a little tiny bit, but it's going to come to light. So fakeness until you make it will always come back to haunt you. Always when you step into your power though, and you step into a new identity, if you're authentic with it and you know it lives inside of you, you don't have to fake it till you make it. You will instantly become it. So it's like this. I want you to think about an actor that gets a role. When I sign up for that role to be, if you were going to become Sunny, okay, and you said, I honestly want to be Sunny. She's amazing. She's all these things. I want to be her. Okay. You could have tokens. You could go get your Tiffany's necklace. You could go do your things and do your hair, do all the stuff like Sunny. But you're going to have to really study Sunny. And the first time you come to act as her, it might be awkward for you. But if you say, look, I've stepped into this role, I'm going to take this on, you will master it as you go through and it won't be fake. It will become very, very real.
Yeah, I think the difference is embodying versus faking. I'm just faking it or I'm actually embodying it.
I'll give you another quick, just 5-second example. When I wanted to be a cyclist, right? For example, I was at that point in time, so many other things than a cyclist. I was a cowboy, a full-on rodeo cowboy, like Wranglers, hat, everything. My whole ecosystem was rodeo. When I showed up on the bike the very first day, though, I dressed as a cyclist, full spandex,
brilliant,
everything, full helmet, full bike. Was I faking it?
No.
When I got on the bike, did I get dropped in 5 seconds? Yes. Did it suck? Yes. But I just kept acting like I was a pro cyclist because I dressed like it. I rode like it. I would watch those guys. I dove into it to where I became a semi-pro cyclist. I literally raced Leadville multiple times. I've done the hardest races. Then I stepped from that into, I want to be a bodybuilder. First time Sunny was with me, I hired the #1 bodybuilding coach in the physique category that had taken people to Mr. Olympia more times than anybody else. Went and hired him. I was in a cyclist body. Go back on my Instagram, see the photo. I was this little tiny scrawny cyclist that had a little tiny belly, but I was in the best shape of my entire life, standing next to the most amazing man candy you've ever seen in your life. All standing there going, and I mean, they were gorgeous. Like every one of them, I'm like, oh my God, they're hot. These guys are amazing. Like, and then the coach looks at me at the very end and says, take your shirt off. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking my shirt off in front of all these guys. No way. He goes, no, just take your shirt off. And I'm standing in front of my wife, my kids, and all these professional bodybuilders. Took my shirt off.
And you did it.
And he goes, in 1 year, you can stand on stage and get your sword and win if you'll follow the process. So I hired him for the recipe. Well, was I faking it? No, I wasn't faking it, but I stood in there. And that day I said, I'm a bodybuilder. I am a bodybuilder. And I created that persona. And in 1 year from that date, I did my first bodybuilding competition. I won the sword, won my overall, and won my category. Okay. Was I faking it? No, I stepped into a new identity of who I was and what I was going to create. And then I went to nationals from there and competed in nationals.
Okay.
So there's a difference in being authentic in what you're doing versus, oh my gosh, I'm just going to go fake that I'm a bodybuilder. And then when somebody says, take your shirt off, I'm like, I'm fat. No, not happening. I'm not faking anybody out, but I can stand up right now, take my shirt off and flex. And I guarantee you're going to know I'm a bodybuilder.
Wow. Sunny, I want to dive to you because, okay, so the way that I see it is in my world, we do one-to-many presentations for female audiences, right?
Okay.
Your customer is a female, let's go, let's rock it, all these kinds of things. What impact does gender have on someone's ability to be authentic? Specifically as an entrepreneur, because the dudes on stage, the marketers, the CEOs, it's dudes. It's dudes. So what are the traps that women fall into in this kind of endeavor, authenticity?
Oh, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, feeling like they're not good enough, not feeling powerful, feeling like maybe they have to have that man energy instead of the woman energy that they bring to the table. And I've really been thinking a lot about feminine energy in particular, because at Bart's roundtable, one young lady spoke up and she's like, I tried to step into my feminine energy, but it felt weak.
Yes.
So, right? But I was like telling Bart, think about Mother Nature. Is she kind? Is she gentle? Is she beautiful? But is she fierce? And so it's like stepping into this thing where, and I love this analogy too, like masculine energy is like a sword. It cuts, it's decisive, it gets right to the point. Mother energy is like the storm. It creates and it destroys worlds and it changes the entire landscape. And so I think understanding that there's this huge power behind the vision, the storytelling, the ability to move people and not having to come at it with brute strength of like, some of the guys we saw on stage were so like, I'm an idiot, I'm going to war, I'm doing this. And it's not, like Bart said, like masculine and feminine exist inside of us. And we've got to, as a leader, embrace both. Otherwise, we're not going to be strategic and logical and do all the things that like a woman needs to do. But it's understanding like the presence, the ability to express, to transform. It's because we are nurturing, because we're empathetic, because we understand, we can move people.
Has this been easy for you, Sunny, to be like, I'm a woman, it's okay for me to sell, it's okay for me to have this powerful marriage and to like be equals? Like, has that been natural for you? Did you grow up with that? What's your experience been?
No, like Bart mentioned, we grew up in a religion where it's very male centric and everything would default to the man. And they're like, oh, you're equal in the house, but the man always basically has the last say. And it's taking me a lot of years with a partner who's insisted that I'm his equal. He's insisted that I show up beside him and not behind him. And even then I would hide. But he's like, no, we're together. You're my partner. You're my equal. Don't hide behind me. And so I think without him and that like influence, I doubt I would have ever been able to bridge that gap.
Bart, why did that matter to you?
It's always mattered to me. For some reason in my life, I've always seen women more powerful than I've seen men.
Yeah.
And even from when I was younger, I always known that women rule the world and we're along for the journey and they're the creators. And so for me, I am very masculine. Like sometimes I can be so masculine, it scares the crap out of people. Like if you want to get in a fight, I'm not the guy you want to fight. Like I'm not, but I can be very, very, very masculine. Right. But I also learned that. So like when I watched Andy Elliott, for example, I think he's such an amazing human. Don't take this wrong. I'm not belittling Andy because he's very strong in what he's doing. But as I watched him with his wife stand behind him and I watched that whole group of men standing there with her, right? There's a point when I look at that and I say, guys, get your crap done. Like you've got to get it together. You've got to be all this. But there's a point when you need to stop as a man and say, let me just edify my queen. I show you how powerful she really, really was. And as my queen, she was not only there to make my meals, because that wasn't her role, but she was there to architect our life by design. When she called me out on my stuff, it was a fury war starting to happen in her. And I recognized that. But I saw her for who she was and how powerful she was and what she was really there in her feminine energy, attracting me to be and bring the best out of me, you know? And I mean, with Sunny, like, she's so amazing. Like, if you could just, like, if the world could see the power of this woman and what she really has inside of her, she can change the world. I'm just a mouthpiece to help get that there. But reality is so many women are so afraid to be them and to love and to cry and show emotion and to be the creator that they are, because we have beat it out of you as men. We've beat it out of you and say, no, I want to cry with you. Like, I can cry with you, and it's okay for me as a man to cry. It's okay for me to be emotional with you. It's okay to feel your pain. And, you know, and that's something I love. Like, I love our crying sessions, because at the end of the day, it releases so much from me and it releases so much for her. But there's a point when I need to step in my feminine energy, and she's got to step in her masculine energy and take charge and do stuff, right? It's okay for us to duality and roles, you know, and that's why we have both. When I'm shopping for Russell Brunson, I'm not a man there being like, oh my God, you're going to put this, get this shit on right now. It's like, no, like, I literally have to be able to stand back and say, these colors are the right colors, and let's create, and let's architect this, and let's have flow with this. And I love both sides of those things. And you got to learn to love that if you want to be your most powerful self.
He looked fabulous, by the way. Congratulations. The energy was spot on. Awesome. I want to dive specifically into this idea of the partnership, right? You're talking sexually, energetically. You guys are clearly in business together, go all in, all this kind of stuff. What if a partner's not on board?
Great question. So when we play full out, that's one of the things you have to realize is you have to love somebody for where they're at, not where you want them to be. The problem in most partnerships and relationships and marriage, and I don't love the term marriage anymore, to be frank with you, because I really feel like it's a role that we have to fill as marriage.
What term do you like?
Partnership. Because we have an amazing partnership. And the reason we have an amazing partnership is because we got rid of the stigma of marriage. If you look at the definition or go into marriage, she has a role, I have a role in marriage, which means that she cooks, she cleans, you know all the traditional things.
Sure.
That, I think, mold has been broken. I think now it's a partnership. I love to do laundry. I know it sounds crazy, but I love it. She loves to mow the lawn. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. I don't love mowing the lawn, but it's okay in our partnership to do those things and live our life that way. So before I get too far off, is I think what we have in our partnerships is we have expectations of what we want somebody to be. Therefore, we're not happy because we want them to grow, instead of saying, I love you for where you're at, and I love me for where I'm at. So let's just be happy where we're at. And then I'm going to pour into you as much as I want to. And if they decide to change, that's up to them. But we've got to be happy where we're at first. And we got to be whole where we're both at first. Like, there's things that I see in Sunny that I want more than you'll ever imagine.
Sure.
I'm so beyond happy with where she's at. I don't care if they ever happen, because she's who I chose. Does that make sense? So first and foremost, in partnership, marriage, relationship, be happy with where you're both at. If they're not progressing where you need to be, that's something you need to think about. So Sunny and I, we know every 5 years we've got to burn our marriage.
What? Tell me.
Because we're not the same. She's not who I first married, and she won't be in 5 years from now. So we either are growing together or we're growing apart in 5 years. It always happens. We're either growing together or growing apart. And there comes a point when you got to sit down with each other and say, I love you and you love me, but we've grown apart. Now we have one of two choices, just like a tree. We can either try to tie it together and come back. We need to part ways. Where are we at?
And you're willing to face that?
We always have faced it. Our divorce has been written for 10 years. She's in a want relationship, not in a want-need relationship. See, with so many partnerships, she's going to sacrifice her whole life to build my career. as a man. But then she feels like she has nothing. So then she's in a want-need relationship. She has to be here or she doesn't have finance. She doesn't have stability. She doesn't have a life. So we wanted to create it to where we're in a want relationship. So she is fully whole and I am fully whole 100%. If she wants a divorce today, it's easy. She just goes, puts her signature on it. She knows everything she has. I know everything we have. She's 100% whole. I'm 100% whole. That way, she never has to be afraid to say what's ever on her mind because she's in a want relationship, not in a want-need relationship any longer. So therefore, if she wants to call me on my, she can call me on my. If she wants to date me, she can date me. But I want to date her because I want to be in this relationship, not because I need to be in this relationship. There's a choice.
So there's actually power in believing that you really can become, that you can be your authentic self apart from your partner.
Amen. You have to be.
Yeah. And you have to be willing to risk that partnership.
No risk. It's who you have to be if you want to be full. You know, the number one person you lie to is you. You know, the second person you lie to is your significant other because you're so scared if you told them something that they would leave you. You have so many fears in your relationships that you are not whole. And that is stifling your growth as a human, period. Quit lying to yourself.
So Sunny, I want to ask you a question. So from my perspective, I had many years of domestic violence in my dating experiences. I now am married to my equal and he is the greatest, right? You'll have to meet him. We'll do a joint. Here's the reality though. One of the toughest things to overcome as a woman, I think, is this whole idea of damsel in distress. That in fact, I am more attracted. I am more wanted. I am more sexy when I am the damsel, when I am the injured, when I am the broken. And I saw myself, even in my dating, that I would almost want to share that with people I was dating because it would make me victimized and it would make me more. Isn't that crazy? Right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. What has been your experience, Sunny? And I'm not saying you dove into victimhood, but in understanding what a marriage looks like when it's powerful versus victim, caregiver, or provider, or whatever it may be. Like, what's been your experience as a woman?
Oh, my mind's going blank. Give me a second. Power in both. Is that what you're saying? Versus stepping back and kind of being in the sideline. I think there comes a time, like Bart said, where like we almost have an awakening, in my opinion, to where the life that we've been living doesn't serve us anymore. And at that point, it really, you have to dive into self-awareness, just like you did. You started recognizing the pattern that was playing in your life and you just weren't okay with it anymore. It's like, no, what am I here for? What is my soul trying to express? And is this serving me or is it not? Because the most powerful thing you can step into is being a full, authentic, whole person by yourself, right? So I think, does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, 1000%. And I want to go even a step further. What does it feel like in a partnership when it's the opposite? Meaning when I am hiding, what is it like for me in a marriage? And when I am stepping into my Beyonce, right? Like who I am, how is it different? Like, why does it even matter?
I feel like when you're hiding and when you're not playing full out and you're not stepping up as a powerful version of yourself, you are sleepwalking through life. You're dead inside. There is no aliveness there. And you can put on a smile and pretend like you're happy. And a lot of times I think we really think we are. But if you really to dive into it, you're dead. You're not showing up for life. You're not like, you don't have that energy, that lust for life that should exist in all of us. When you step into that, all of a sudden, all of that starts to unlock.
So can I just go off on a vulnerability thing for us really quick?
Let's go.
Relationship. Okay. So this is really vulnerable for Sunny. So I have permission to talk about this.
I don't know.
All right. So early in our career, I was very much the man, right? So very out there. It was like people. So if I emailed you, for example, I would get a response back. If Sunny emailed you, she may not get a response back, even to some of our high ticket clients that were with us. Right. And it was like, she would pry for information. Yeah. So she got really frustrated over that to where she literally gave up on that. So 99% of my emails weren't me. They were her, but they would get an instant response. So she learned how to hide behind my power. instead of demanding that people step up and respond to her and take her serious. Now, why weren't they taking her serious? Ask yourself.
That's what I want to know.
Why were they not? Because her energy wasn't there. As soon as she changed her energy and be like, look, I am powerful and I will roar and I will come after you if you do not answer this email. Guess what started to happen?
They responded
instantly. So when we addressed this, she lost her voice over this.
Yeah.
Literally just starting to get her voice back after years of now she's been fixing it over years, but let me be clear. She lost her voice because she wouldn't speak up. Even though I was demanding her, literally standing behind her saying, Sunny, you have got to find your power. You
is this
are.
True? Is this true?
This is all true. So I'm giving you being 100% vulnerable, transparent with you. So therefore, I was behind her saying, no, this is not acceptable. You are the most powerful human I know. You see these people. You love these people. You've got to demand that they respect you as that. Don't hide behind me. Okay. So she lost her power and was letting it even slip away further because she had somebody so powerful in front of her.
Yeah.
But see, as a man, I recognized that and said, no, not acceptable. Not acceptable. I love you too much to see this happen. I know who you are. And I'm going to demand that you step into your feminine energy. I'm going to demand that you do this. And she was like, resistance, fear, anxieties. But she looked at me and said, okay, I trust you. But I had to do that through my feminine energy and love her and be there for her and show her how amazing she was. But what happens a lot of times is we get so comfortable in hiding that we just say that's us. So the victim state was very hard on me because I knew better. Like you could tell me all those things and I go, victim. I'm going to have to be like so strong and help, and I'm going to have to walk on eggs with her. So my marriage with you would be very difficult if I already knew all that in my head and that you were using that as a tool. I'd be like, oh, she's so beautiful, all these things. But if you stood up and said, no, that's behind me. Be you, be the fierce man. I want you to be the foolish you. Now, I don't want you to beat the shit out of me. Let's be clear. You know, there's a role here, but you understand what I'm saying though, right?
Right.
But I attack Sunny with my masculine energy in the bedroom. You better watch out. I'm a lion, baby, and I'm coming at you. And if you want it, you better be ready for it. But don't ask if you don't want the warrior.
Right. That's part 2, everybody. That's part 2.
But my point is that there's roles and understanding those. But as a woman, you cannot lose your power and hide behind other things and excuses and let yourself do that, because a man will see it. And so will everybody else in the ecosystem. And then they will start to act the same way that you are a victim, and they will treat you as a victim, and they will embrace it, and you will get energy from it, and you'll become addicted to being the victim. And then you think you're whole because everybody's feeding your energy. And what's happening really on a bigger scale is you're being attacked by energetic systems that are eating off of that energy. They're feeding because you're feeding them. And you're making them bigger, so they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep attacking you. They're going to feed. But they don't need to feed off that energy. And when you demand that they stay away and you clear yourself and you step into that new identity, they will learn they can be whole without feeding off of that energy that you've created around you. So there you go.
So there are two directions that we could take with this. Number one, Bart, okay? Bart, is it harder for a woman to make it as an entrepreneur?
No. Easier, in my opinion.
Whoa. Bull.
By far.
Bull. Okay, go.
By far. No, I mean, really, because.
Why?
Because what we crave is authenticity, and a woman can multitask. She can do so many amazing things that we need in this world today. She can slow things down. For example, if you ever been to an office that's very decorated as a man, how does it feel?
I've never been there as a man. I have no idea.
Walk into some guy's office and just look at how rigid and how but walk into a woman's energy and how we just, this is so awesome. It smells great. It feels great. I want more of that. Plus, women, they have this way of nurturing and helping and wanting to be, we need that. Not always, you go, like there's a point for that. Like there's a point when a kid needs his butt kicked because he's not cleaning the room. But there's a way to kick his butt and get way more sugar versus spice, right? I believe when women step into their authentic power, and that's why women crave other women's groups, right? Because then they can finally be in that feminine energy. But even when they're there, what's amazing to me is I get into a lot of these women's groups. I'll go speak to them, and all I see is a bunch of men in the room trying to go after women.
Oh gosh.
Instead of finally, let's say, women, let's be women. Because I thought that's what you created this for. But you guys all go in there, not all of you, but a lot of women go in there and just start teaching man tactics to other women and want them to be women. We created this women's group for women empowerment. Let's all go. Let's get our done. It's like,
right.
Okay, you're doing the same thing, only you're all doing it in a female body. Chill out. Why don't you all just do a yoga session first? Why don't you all just meditate for a minute and cry together? And then let's develop and really create and step into this and use some of the tactics and bring some of this together and really create the world in a new way. Let's rebirth the world.
So gender matters.
Well, I think it matters, but when I say it matters, I have feminine energy and masculine energy too. I can do the same thing. That's why when you come to our events, if you ever come to our events, you will find that we duality in all things. But there's a reason that we do breath work. There's a reason we do cold plunges. There's a reason that we do all these different things so that you can experience your real human self and then come in and let's get into business. I'm not going to get too far off on things, but how do you think Apple and some of the greatest companies were ever created? And if you don't know this, go do a research. And I'm not telling anybody they should do this. I'm not telling anybody that this is the way, but it's because they've done psychedelics.
Oh my God. Let's go.
Go read the history. Tony Robbins said, go read history and you will find out a lot of things. Now you can get the same place through breath work as you can on a psychedelic. But my point is we got to get out of our own way. And the only way we get out of our own way is by getting into that creation energy. Everything came from creation. Everything is built off the human. So a computer, what is it? It's got a heart called a hard drive. It's got all the things. We have a cloud, which is the same cloud we tap into. Your car has a heater. It has air conditioning. It has everything your body has. It's the same. It's got a shell. It's got everything is created off the human body. Everything's created in the same energy. All these things, but we got to get whole with us. And women are the fastest way to get there. They know how to create. They are the creators. That's why the feminine energy is creation. So when women get in a group and they will get in their feminine energy, they will change the world through their businesses faster than anybody else because they're creating it through divine creation. And when they put it out to the world, it has to be accepted.
And that is a feminine energy trait.
100%. Creation is feminine energy.
Intuition, perception.
All that is. And so that's why in most men's businesses, like Garrett White, I don't know if you know, but his copywriter for years was a woman.
Yeah.
No.
100%.
100%.
100%. Go ask her.
We met her.
We've met her several times. She was on flights. She lived here in Idaho.
Wow. And that decision was made to bring in that.
No idea if that was the case. I'm just telling you that creation comes through your feminine energy, cut and dry. And if you can't tap into your feminine energy, creation becomes harder.
Okay.
It's impossible.
So you're speaking to the men right now, Bart, saying like, you have got to be okay to tap into the feminine because it's going to keep you stuck.
Yeah. So that's why you see a lot of doctors. If you want to know the truth, go ask them if they're a musician. Go ask them what other side they've tapped into because they're creators. They want to create, they want to give. So that's how they become such great providers, is because they're loving. They have those feminine characteristics because we all have them, but they've just learned how to tap into them to be so good. Does that make sense?
My husband's a doctor. That's why my marriage rocks.
Okay.
Is he a musician?
Plays the piano. We sing all the things. I'm fascinated. Okay.
When you learn these things, you'll start to find certain energies that why they're there and what happens and how they're playing with their duality, not even knowing it. And a lot of us do this. We just don't understand it. Mine is through fashion, through clothing, through creating that kind of stuff, and understanding color and how it moves somebody, and why I need it when I'm speaking, why I want something to bring their hands up. So when you see this tattoo, it brings your attention up instantly. But if I bring this hand up, it looks totally different, right? Why does that make a difference? Those are things that fascinate me in creativity, but they're different that fascinate Sunny. Sunny is a phenomenal musician. She's a phenomenal creator. So when she gets into our programs, that's why I have her create the programs. I deliver.
Incredible. And neither of you is up or down in the relationship. Just because you're the one that's presenting it, she's the one that has created, and that feels whole.
It's a signet. It would be like,
I love the word.
It's like my superpower or my signet is this. Her superpower and her signet is this, right? But in creation, it's like, if I didn't allow her to be the creator, then our programs wouldn't excel the way they need to be. So it's the same way if I decided I wanted to have the baby. How far is that going to get me?
Not very far.
I want to carry the baby. Let's do this, right? But as soon as I say, hey, are you okay with carrying the baby? Are you okay with being in your power? Then we can have all the crazy stuff, and guess what she'll be? The creator, because that's what she was created for.
Wow, because it already exists. That it already exists. So Sunny, I've got a question for you. When we talk about this combination of masculine and feminine, and you talked about how you guys grew up in a religious construct, right?
Yeah.
And so one of those religious constructs is that God is male, right? He's very much related as a male.
How we're trained, yes.
Yes. How we're trained. What do you believe?
Wow. You're going to open up a can of worms here. I believe that masculine and feminine energy exist in the universe. I believe that there is a higher power, but it's more of an energetic state than it is like a person. And so I think this interplay with the yin and the yang and the masculine and feminine embodies all of us. Like, I do believe Mother Nature is feminine, and I believe we're a part of the earth. I believe like all of those things.
Yes. And does the teaching that God is male, I'll just say it simply, that God is male, is it harmful?
I think so. I really do, because growing up in that religious aspect, mother was never mentioned. It's always, please, father, please, father, please, father. So what am I going to do when I get married? What am I going to do with all the men in the world? They're elevated. I'm never worthy. I'm never as high as them. I'm always seeking approval or worthiness from a man. So in my mind, it is very harmful, because
it has been harmful.
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion, Bart?
I 100% agree. Like, that is, and that's what I've always seen. Like I said, I always have believed since I was younger that women are power. They are the power of creation. They are all things. The man is there to deliver and help with that energy. Like, she's the energy source. So imagine that she's this huge ball, like she's a cloud and has all the energy in it. I just have the ability to tap into it and channel the lightning and go, but really all the energy is coming from here, creation. I'm just the delivery mechanism.
Yeah.
Even if you look at it in a sexual way, what am I? I'm a delivering mechanism for the creation.
Yeah.
So when we look at it in our energies, it's not one versus the other. It's, I get the role of being out there, being fierce and protector and all these things. But where I gain the power that I'm protecting, right? If I were protecting her, it's because my energy is really coming from her. That's where the drive comes to protect.
From her. Yes.
You see you understand the breakthrough?
Yeah.
So it's like, we're as men, we are deliverers. But where the creation, where the foundation, where the energy comes from, that's why, let me give you an example. There's 10 men all gathered around lifting weights. I lay down to start benching, and I'm like, oh, I'm at my max. I'm going crazy. Some beautiful girl walks in all of a sudden, and she looks attractive, and she's hot. Okay, and I'm laying there with all my dudes, and I'm like, ugh, and all of a sudden I smell her and I see her. What happens to me as a man?
You weaken.
Weaken my ass. I go, because I want to impress the hell out of her. Where did the power come from?
Her.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to let this woman see me not do this. Like, by God, I'll do it 10 more times. Woo. Okay, let's go. Woo. Woo. Oh, did you see that, baby? The guys I don't give a crap about. Where did my energy all of a sudden come from when she
her
in there? I'm like, oh, I'm a man. Oh, I'm going to be tough. All of a sudden, all the guys stand at attention. Like, I'm next. Get out of the way. I can lift more than you. Let me show her. Where did the power come from?
Wow. This is amazing.
But think about it, seriously. I mean, you can watch it in a gym every day. I double dog dare you to go put on your sports bra, your cutest little thing, and walk up to some dude while he's lifting. Just absolutely is at his max and watch him go and put it down.
And this matters because we need to observe it in order to understand it. Right. Yep. And that's, I think, what you guys have brought to the table so incredibly. Observe it, like see it here, see it in your marriage, see it at the gym, see it at a live event, like see it in the women's group, like witness. What have we witnessed in politics?
Well, I think you've witnessed a lot of things in politics, so I don't know exactly what you're after, but there's a ton of dynamics to look at there, right?
We haven't elected a woman president, and I don't care where you sit on it. Why?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be totally transparent. And it was on a panel actually in this election. And I thought it was beautiful because 2 women that have the power to be presidents of the United States were on that panel. And I respect them at the highest level. And this is what they said. They said this one thing that was critically important to mankind to understand. If the red button had to be pushed, they have too much empathy to push it. Not because... But a man, that's the difference in us. That's the difference.
The old diver, protect.
It's like done. Where a woman, when in that scenario, when you walk in with 5 tops of the world that are standing there and you're a woman and you've got to fight with them toe to toe, because these men aren't going to back down because you're a woman. In fact, they're going to take you on even stronger. You've got to be able to be a Donald Trump and literally sit and say, and they just said, hey, that is a pressure as a woman, how we were created, that we can do all this other stuff. But when it comes right down to pushing the red button, that's why we can't have a woman as president. Not because she's not smart enough, not because she can't do all the other things. In fact, she's just as brilliant, 100%, nothing taken away from women. And that's exactly what it said. And I agreed. But they said there is a point when you're in certainty with somebody else and another man is ready to fight you. And that's what I'm saying. Like me, like when it comes toe to toe and you're going to take the swings, don't threaten me. Because if you swing, I will kill you. Excuse my language. But I will engage in the fight and I'm not afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't sit in a place of offense that we haven't got a woman like you sit in a space of understanding. You're like, I absolutely get this.
I think the most brilliant minds are women. Let's be clear. It's been proven they're out there. It's not that. We need them more than anything. But when it comes to like literally being in combat, like we are going to absolutely do it. You're going to have a woman that is so masculine that she is literally a man in a female's body, that is so ruthless that she's like, done. And then we've got it. But that's the only reason, in my opinion, because when you stand on this, that, the other, it's just, you're going to be bullied and people are going to call you out and they will fight us.
Sure.
Period. Cut and dry. And you got to be ready for war.
And again, observe it, right? Like everybody listening, observe it everywhere, because that is what's going to help you engage in what Bart and Sunny are talking about. So you guys have talked about incredible things here. I have just really 2 more questions. So Sunny, I want to start with you. What is your message? We started with entrepreneurs that are addicted to like buying courses and tactics and all those kinds of things. And you're basically like, throw it in the garbage and like figure out your energy, like figure out who you are, like uncover it. What is your message to women specifically? And then Bart, I want to hear what you think for men.
Okay.
Well, in terms of what you just pre-framed, I would say a lot of times we get stuck in our own personalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
our personal reality.
Our personality is our personal reality. And for so many years, I sat back, I'm like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? And I'm waiting for this big epiphany to come. But the truth of the matter is personality is irrelevant. Throw all of that in the trash. It's our decisions and our choices that we make in life on the path that we want to go down and how we choose to react to what has happened to us, because we can't always control where we're going, right? And so for me, it's like, if you really want to step into something, you get to be the creator. You're the feminine energy. You're men too, of course, female, but choose, decide, and become. Like, don't sit and wait anymore, because like the time's ticking, and the longer you wait, it will just pass you by.
Sunny, thank you. That is the first time in my life I have honestly believed it is easier for women because of what you just said, because you are the creator.
Yeah.
Like Bart, I kind of believed you, okay, for like a hot second. But Sunny, you nailed it. Because you are the creator, lean in, you get to choose.
Yes.
Bless
and
you.
do it. Choose it.
Okay, so guys, I'm speaking directly to you. Number one thing is you're leading with tactics, not belief. You cannot go to war. You can't, if you were a Navy SEAL and you're trapped behind enemy lines, you might be the most buff, smartest guy in the world. But when you're starved to death and you're in your death right then and there to give it all up, you have to have a belief that is greater than dying. And if you're not leading with your belief and your why, then nobody can follow you. I believe we have the ability to architect our life by design. Your life does not have to be designed for you. You have a choice. Step into your power, find your belief, find your why, lead with that belief, lead with that why, and you can change the world. And if you'll enhance that with your queen or with that feminine energy and allow her to create and help you architect that belief and take it to the world, game over. But quit leading with tactics and all the things. Remember this one thing. Actions speak louder than words.
Wow. Big breath, everybody. Big breath. This has been incredible. Thank you so much for giving your time and diving so deep. What does the next 60, 90 days look like for you guys? How can we engage with you?
WePlayFullOut.com.
Okay.
And we've got an event coming up.
We've got an event coming up. You're welcome to join. We have all sorts of cool things. But if you want to tap into masculine and feminine energy, we have a new program out on that. But WePlayFullOut.com is a great place to get to know us as a couple and that energy.
Fantastic. Okay, our last rapid fire question here at the end. We'll start with Bart and then Sunny will end with you. What is a book that every single person should read? Easy.
Predictably Irrational by Dan Irely.
No one has said that before. Okay, keep going.
That's your number one book.
Well, I mean, for me, it's just my number one book, but it's Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Estes.
Fantastic. Brilliant. You guys, thank you so much for being here on the podcast. What a gift you are. Everybody, we're going to play full out. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you for listening to the Unreasonable Autonomy podcast. If you loved this episode, my guests and I would love to hear about it. Go to the show notes to reach out and let me know what resonated with you or what topics or guests you want to hear in the future. I am here to create for you. Look, I deeply admire your commitment to pushing boundaries and going after an unreasonable life. Keep dreaming big, taking bold steps, and expecting the unreasonable. For more, go to the show notes to dive deeper into the conversations that will keep you going. Thanks for being here.